All right. Hello, guys. Are we live? I think we are live. All right. So, hello, everyone. This is Angel Zero Gaming, and today we'll be playing Poppi the Rabbit Date, the Poppi the Rabbit dating sim, rather. Oh, and by the way, take a look at the hat. I got too enthusiastic over the weekend, and I made a customized hat, as you can see. Angel Zero Gaming, there you go, with the logo and all. So, yeah, that's just an icebreaker for me here. So, let's check the comments though. Hello, hey guys. Oh yeah, Christian's show to aviation. Yeah, I remember. I remember you, giving me a step-by-step guide on how to get that certain ending. And yeah, thank you very much for that. Highly appreciate it. Actually, any help from the fans or the viewers rather, I highly appreciate it, especially fans from the game itself. So, yeah. Hello, Jose Victor. Hey, John Lopez. Hi, Knights. Arsene. Husby and Purple. Hello to you guys. The early watchers of today's Poppi's dating sim. All right, so let's get started. Let's go and play the Poppi the Rabbit dating sim. So, can't believe I made it through that nightmare unscathed. I had no idea Poppi was capable of something like that. What could have happened to make her that angry? At least I've got some time to recover. Alright, so this is basically in the perspective of, I think, the security guard. Yeah, pretty sure it's the security guard after that fiasco, after the fiasco that happened during the nightclub game. So, let us start. Oh, you play airsoft. So it doesn't suck. At least you're happy you're playing what you love. Pulcra is here too. Yeah, Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah, let us go. One moment. Had to clear my throat. Alright, let's play the dating sim. Quote unquote dating. If they like to call it that, then sure, but I don't think it's a date. Anyway, I open my eyes to the sound of my alarm. Like always, I reach over and grope around until it shuts up. It's not like I have anywhere to be today. It's ironic, honestly. I haven't had the chance to get a full night's sleep in almost a month, and the first sight I had that opportunity, I barely sleep a wink. Dude sounds exactly like me. I can barely sleep. I don't know why. Last night, the nightclub was destroyed. Not entirely, though. I managed to keep at least some of it intact. The floors are ruined, the ceiling's full of holes, and while the clowns had a great time, the other clients didn't seem so happy. Wanna be a voice actor in the game? Yeah, same. I wish I had the skills to actually be a voice actor in the game as well. That would be a good sideline. So, but yeah, I mean, the voice acting in the game is so high end for an indie game of this caliber. The voice acting, yeah, they know how to get good voice actors here. Can't deny that. It's the nightclub. Yeah, this is the continuation of the nightclub. This is what happened exactly after, the nightclub just shut down, basically. This is what the security guy is doing right after. And, oh, I didn't notice this. It's the Aquapolo logo. So, I think the dude is a developer. So, yeah, kind of a cameo. Right. Most importantly, Poppi, the cause of all the trouble and the villain of the story, was taken away. I keep replaying it all in my head. It's crazy to think that it only happened a few hours ago. I think back to everything she said about waiting to be free, wanting to be free about the things that people did to her. Was it true? Was she just saying that to get in my head? I think knowing Poppi, yeah, it is, I think, true. Well, at least about the things people did to her. Not just to her, to the other girls as well. Probably. I had to stop the bombs, so who knows who could have been hurt. I did the right thing. Didn't I? It takes me longer than usual to pull myself out of bed. Not that it matters. I just want my life back. You didn't go through what I went through. They did things. Poppi's words continue to run through my mind as the hot water washes over my skin. There must be so many things about Diamond Straits I don't understand. The time I've spent with the girls up until now has only barely scratched the surface. Can I really judge her for what she's done? If I don't know the half of what's going on? I dry myself off and get dressed. I don't have much of an appetite, but I go to the kitchen anyway. I think about putting on some coffee, but can't find it in me. My mind is still stuck on Poppi. Well, yeah, after what happened that night, I don't think her mind can function too well, to be fair. At the very least, I'm sure she's being looked after. Diamond Straits is a business, and someone as important as her must be their top priority. What's the higher-ups going to do with her after this date? So this is what we'll find out, I think. Or just a glimpse of what happens after. I don't envy whoever is talking to her though. They've got one hell of a task ahead of them. I'm jolted out of my thoughts by a knock at the door, and then another, and then another. Whoever it was, they wanted my attention immediately, and I wasn't about to leave them waiting. I quickly move to the door and undo the latch, opening it to reveal the familiar stern visage of my parent superior, Kass. She looks concerned about something, but she's always been hard to read. There are dark rings under her eyes, even darker than usual. I guess she didn't sleep well either. Yeah. If Kass pulls up, yeah, there she is. There she is. There's the little tanuki. At the very least, she didn't scare me this time. I never thought I'd be thankful for aggressive knocking. Good morning.
It's afternoon.
Guess she's as sharp as ever. And there's nothing good about that. I nod. It definitely feels somber. Thinking about Poppi too, huh? It's why I'm here. This is an unexpected turn. I never thought that Kass, of all people, would come to me to talk about their feelings. I'm flattered, I guess, but there has to be someone else she usually talks to. Unless... maybe, just like Poppi, Kass is restricted in ways that I don't understand, and only through these small interactions with someone like me can she really unpack her feelings. Damn. No wonder she's been having trouble sleeping. I understand that it's a hard time and Poppi's episode had a deep effect on us all, but I want you to know that I'm here for you. Never before have I so quickly seen an already stern face turn even sterner. No, I'm here for you. You're going to talk to Poppi. Pardon? What was that?
You heard me, don't be cute.
She pushes past me and into the apartment. Mi casa es tu casa, I guess. As I take a moment to process this change and close the door behind her, I can hear her rummaging around in the kitchen. By the time I get in there to join her, the coffee maker is already going. Clearly, she's got priorities. As we both wait for the machine to do its job, I decide to ask at least a few follow-up questions. So, was that a joke, or Kass size?
No.
You're talking to Poppi. I look at her oddly, very oddly. I'm hoping that I just don't understand Kass's sophisticated deadpan humor, But the longer I stare into those thick glasses, the more I realize she's not budging. She's dead serious. And I'm just dead. Pretty accurate. Why me? Because you're the logical choice. Well, flattery does cushion the blow a little. Really? She won't talk to me. Upper management already talked to her. 3 of the girls are covering Poppi's backlog of clients as well as their own, and Ari is guarding her to make sure she doesn't get out. That's somehow disappointing. She seems to sense that.
What? You didn't think you would be my first choice, right? You're the logical choice. You're what comes next.
I'd love to hear your logic on that. You're on the payroll, but not currently doing anything. I feel so special. Don't interrupt. I wait patiently for the next reason. Well, those are the main reasons. Harsh.
Welcome to the real world.
There's silence for a while. The coffee maker continues its dull whir. It's bothering me enough that I decide to just say it. I don't think I'm the right person to talk to her. Kass does not look amused by this. And why is that? I sigh. Suddenly the lingering melancholy hits me like a wave again. It feels like, I don't know, I don't have the full story and I was acting in the moment, and as the person that stopped her, maybe I'm not the person she wants to see. It might bring back some confronting feelings that she's not ready to.
If you refuse, you will be fired and we'll take the apartment back.
What? I was trying to say that I'm actually really glad you're asking me to do this, and it would be my pleasure to talk to her. I think we could really work through this together. I'm not going back to the streets. Mean mouth Murray still has it out for me. This finally gets a smile out of Kass. She seems to enjoy when her authority has its benefits. I feel like Kass isn't a life enjoyer. Yeah, she's really not a life enjoyer. I don't think so. That's better. I knew you would understand. I always get there eventually. The little security guard that could. I do have one quick question though. And what's that? Am I going to die?
She's securely contained.
That didn't answer my question, but I imagine it's the best I'm going to get. You want me to leave right away, don't you? That would be for the best.
Look at you learning like a big boy.
The coffee maker beeps and Kass shoos me away with her hand as though she needs privacy for what she is about to do to my meager supply of grounds. I'm at the door before I realize that I have no idea where I'm going. Before I can even ask though, Kass preempts me and calls out from the kitchen. The tram is waiting for you. Follow the path on the right side once it stops, and don't talk to anyone until you see Ari. Why? Is this a secret assignment? No, you just seem like you'll get distracted and waste everyone's time. Now that's just hurtful. It is! Hey, you're looking at the guy that disarmed all those bombs just... When I look back, all I see is an empty kitchen. When I walk into it, the coffee maker and the tanuki are both nowhere to be seen. How the hell? Oh well, I guess I'm switching to tea or something. She got your entire coffee maker? What kind of... I don't know. I don't know what goes on in Kass's mind. Maybe she's just basically a wild animal. You know, that wild animal instinct that the girls have. She just has that much of a wild animal in her like the other girls. Anyway, I make my way towards the tram station feeling determined. Not determined to succeed, because that's already very unlikely, but determined to at least try hard enough to keep my job. Give me back my coffee maker, Kass. Yeah, I'd say the exact same thing. I can swallow an entire jar of peanut butter. What? Okay. I think if I swallow an entire jar of peanut butter, I'll get sick. Kill Kass. She can get annoying, but I want to know what makes her tick. You know? I want to know her purpose. So yeah. It's a good thing that the tram was waiting for me though, because I did immediately get distracted upon leaving the apartment by a cool-looking bird. Cool-looking bird, is that new character or just a bird? It was blue, but not a bluebird. I don't know what to call it. I've been on a few near-empty trams before, but this is the first time I've ever ridden on one that's solely just for me. Feels strange. Like I'm above my station, but I suppose that's official business for you. I wonder if this is how Kass travels every time. Part of me thinks she just teleports around somehow. Maybe she only exists when observed. I watched the faces of disappointed travelers as the tram sweeps past the next station. Guess this one doesn't stop until it reaches the end. It seems like every other day I'm being whisked away to another part of the island I've never seen before. That's probably to be expected when I've only seen like 3 parts of the island to begin with. In a way, by not going anywhere outside of my job, it keeps the island feeling bigger, like there's so much more to it than I could ever dream of exploring. But if I'm being realistic, one side of the island to the other is only a few tram stops away. Is this what Poppi meant about being trapped? There's no way I'm out. There's no way out of talking to her. Either way I go about this, there's an irritated rodent girl waiting for me, and only one path leads to a definitely bad outcome. Okay, I got distracted. It says here there's an irritated rodent girl waiting for me. Who's that rodent girl? Okay, nothing. I just got a bit lost in thought there. Rodent girl. Is it pretty? She's a possum. Anyway. Or maybe they're referencing that, like, new character, Ricotta, I think. Probably. Let's hope for updates. Okay. Maybe if I show her that I genuinely sympathize with her plight, it'll work out. The tram pulls into the station. Well, I call it a station, but it lacks the typical landmarks that define a station. There's no conductor in sight, there's no office to house said conductor, and there's certainly no signage. There isn't even a platform, just a slightly raised area that I can safely depart from. If I'd been walking past, I never would have thought there was anything here. It looks for all intents and purposes like a piece of construction that was simply abandoned. What infernal prison is this? Well, that's Poppi's prison, basically. I leave the tram behind and follow Kass's instructions. Walking forward along the path on the right side, which disappears into some foliage. It winds a little back and forth, just enough that if I look back I can no longer see where my tram once was. I'm only walking for a few minutes before I spot my destination, a rather plain, unassuming concrete building. It's a far cry from the other, flashier buildings on the island. It doesn't seem to have any windows, and as I bring my attention to the door, I find myself already forgetting what the building itself looks like. The door is a heavy steel thing with a huge curved handle in place of a traditional knob. I give it a firm pull and I find it completely unmoving. Then after a second, I hear a loud clunk and it pulls open without any effort at all. The inside of the building is much the same. It's dank and hollow, and mostly concrete. It's sturdy but maintained. It doesn't seem to get a lot of foot traffic, but that's probably by design. I don't know why Kass asked me to talk to anyone. Me not to talk to anyone. There's no one to talk to anyway. I see what looks to have once been a reception area with a long desk covered by a tall plastic divider that met with the wall and connected to the ceiling. It was covered in dust now. I didn't want to think about how long it had been since someone had manned it. The lights are only towards one hallway across the room, so I take that as my hint to follow it. Oh, I made it. Hello, lovely people. Hey, Poppi. I thought you were inside the cell, not in the chat room. Eventually, I find myself through a door and at the start of yet another hallway. I walk down and spot a door at the end. It's guarded by a familiar wolf, the champion of mental health herself, Ari. Yeah, mental health. I really doubt that. I really doubt that Ari is the mental health enthusiast. Nah, she beats you up with a broom. How could that help your mental health? I've never seen her truly at her post. My interactions with her have always been under her protest or as part of her secondary duties. When she's standing to attention, she's got this strong aura of focus, like no part of her body can move in a way she doesn't deliberately want it to. Unless she's, intoxicated. Her eyes locked on me the moment I'm in her line of sight. It's like she doesn't even blink for fear of losing any instant of advantage. She's not armed, which always puts me more at ease, although I'm pretty sure she's just as scary barehanded. As I draw closer, she stops me with a raised hand and pushes me away from the wall to start towards me.
Arms out.
I do as I'm told, putting them out in front of me. She rolls her eye.
At your side.
Yes, ma'am. I bring my arms back down to my side as I'm told. She doesn't seem pleased with my obedience. She doesn't seem to be pleased at anything.
Arms out at your side, idiot. I'm frisking you.
Oh. That makes more sense. Yeah, sorry. I spread my arms out, achieving some sort of loose T-pose. The hallway is so narrow that my fingertips are almost touching either wall. I'm sure Ari loves how easy of a choke point it is. She circles around behind me, the soles of her shoes clacking softly against the concrete floor. Her hands come to suddenly rest against my shoulders, and I feel one of her legs sliding between my own. With a sudden motion, she pushes my leg across, forcing me to stand in a wider stance as her hands keep me from losing balance entirely. She could have just asked me to spread my legs more. That does not sound right, but okay. Her hands move across, starting at my left shoulder as she moves up my arm, applying firm pressure as she pats down the fabric of my shirt all the way up to my hand. She then moves down my side with the same motion, finding only my ribs, which she seems very eager to bruise with how hard she's been manhandling me. Or I guess it could be wolf handling. Does the man apply to the handler or the handlee? The awkward silence gets too much for me as she moves across to my opposite shoulder, and conversation seems like my only way out. Would it help if I told you I don't have anything on me? The sound of my voice makes her grip down harder on my forearm as her fingers slide along my sleeve, earning her a light grunt that I didn't intend to let out. It's like a really bad massage, no way? I would still have to check. Don't trust me, huh? I don't. Blunt, but I respect it. I appreciate the honesty. Okay. Segue. I'm just gonna read the comments here. How did you get a phone, Poppi? You are in a cell. Oh. Bonk Boy Scout is referring to the Poppi in the chat box. Okay. How is she a mental health champ if she gives you a concussion with a broom? That's also my question. I have no idea. But I won't question it, maybe. Or else you'll get more concussions with her broom. Alright. Anyway, let's get back to the story. I appreciate the honesty. I don't care what you appreciate. I'm trying to do my job. She reaches my waist on the right side and shifts around once again, stepping back in front of me to let me see that winning scowl. It's strange to think about what Ari's job really entails. She's as much security as I am, and she worked in the VIP experience, but at the same time, it feels like she outranks me despite me supervising the whole thing. And on top of that, she's still here guarding Poppi, but she looks as alert and fresh as ever. Although if I look closer at her, I can see the little signs of strain. I can see the ends of her fur fraying slightly. I can feel slight uncertainty in her movements against my chest as she pats me down. This frisking is so long and so detailed. I wonder if she's even slept since it happened. Poppi's locked up in there, right? She is. So, why do you have to do this? She stops her frisk, and as she reaches my stomach.
Did you just suck in your gut?
Damn, I thought I could get away with that one. No. She stares up at me for a few extra seconds before she grumbles and gets back to it. She pats along my waist as though I somehow concealed some sophisticated escape gear in my belt. I have to do this because Poppi can't come out until she's calmed down. Misty has already tried to smuggle things in twice. Somehow, I'm not surprised. But her reasoning makes sense. Poppi's clearly resourceful, and it probably wouldn't take much to get her out. Still, it's surreal. It's weird to think that someone you work with every day can just go crazy one night, huh? Ari hesitates for a moment. Her ears momentarily sink before springing back up again. I wonder what... Oh, I'm a douchebag. I didn't... That's... Your thing was totally different. Without another word, she sinks down to a squat and presses her hands to my inner thigh, drawing a yipe from me. What is it with these girls in my thigh? I swear, I'm still bruised from Niall, even now. Yeah. Niall squeezed the dude's thigh pretty badly. She has a strong grip, that giant Egyptian cat. Listen, I didn't mean anything by it. Shut up. I don't need your sympathy. Her hands travel down my leg, patting all the way to my shoe. For some reason, I feel self-conscious about how I tied my laces. No one's meant to see those. I was in a rush. I still feel like I should apologize though. I get that it wasn't your fault. You didn't do it on purpose. Be quiet. Her hands move to my next leg, this time staring at the ankle as she quickly pats her way up. She's definitely using more force now, so my attempts to dig myself out of the hole I put myself in aren't working in the slightest. Sometimes things just happen and you get lost in the moment. No one got hurt, so it's all good.
How many times do I have to tell you to?
Her hand brushes against my inner thigh again, and we both freeze. By law of averages, this was bound to happen. I could only hide it for so long, and she's a very thorough frisker. Her skillful hands trace the shape of the distinct bulge in my pants, and I hold my breath. Its long, hard, it curves slightly. Her uncovered eye moves up to mine, and I know what she's about to say before the words even leave her lips.
What's this?
Oh, what's this? Yeah. I swallow the rock that's formed in my throat. It's... I feel her fingers squeeze down against it, and I flinch reflexively. Yeah? It's a kebab. What? Doner kebab. It's shredded meat, lettuce, tomato, tabbouleh, onion sauce wrapped in a flatbread and toasted. It's delicious, I promise. She looks away from me and back down at the shape in my pants. She gives it another squeeze, and I flinch again. Why are you flinching? It's very hot, and when you squeeze it, some of the grease runs out of the foil. It's wrapped in, and runs down my leg. It burns. Then why is it in your pants? For later? What do you mean for later? It's not lunchtime yet.
That doesn't answer anything.
I have to keep it warm or it's not as good.
Just order it closer to lunchtime.
You know, Ari's making such a big deal out of this. No. Why not? Because the best kebab man works the earlier shift. It's like you've never even had a kebab. I haven't. I gasp. You haven't lived. You're not going to live much longer if you keep acting like an idiot. Well, excuse me for having an adventurous palate and a hunger for the finer things in life. How much did it cost? Something being cheap doesn't mean it can't be fine. Ari finally releases my lunch and stands back up in a huff. She walks over to the door at the end of the hall and punches a code into the keypad on the wall. After a few seconds, the door opens with a droning sound. She returns to her post beside the door, crossing her arms under her chest and slightly glaring a hole through me. Taking the hint, I give her an understanding nod and start towards the door. As I reach her side, I turn my head and open my mouth to say something, but no words come. It's perhaps best to just keep quiet on this one. Right before I step through the door, her hand catches my arm and her voice pulls me back.
Leave the kebab.
She really likes that kebab. My blood freezes in my veins, my legs tremble, and hot oil turns to ice as it runs down my pant leg. I look back towards Ari. She looks serious. Please, don't make me do this. She's unflinching. She may be heartless. Poppi might get a hold of the foil. The foil? What good will that do? You don't need to know, just leave it at the door. I look at her again, this time really looking at her. I examine her face for any clue as to her intent. That's when I spotted the slight dilation of her pupils, the glisten of drool just barely showing on the edge of her lips, and the twitch of her nose that she tries so hard to conceal. Poor Ari. I don't know if she's eaten after the incident. She does seem a bit hungry. A small smile spreads across my face, and I reach into my pants to retrieve the prize, squatting down to place the foil-wrapped beauty on the floor by Ari's feet. I give her a knowing nod. I'm sad to part with it, but if she must have it, then sacrifices can be made. I can get another one. You only ever have one first kebab, and I'm proud to have selected hers. I step through the door unburdened and ignore the unmistakable sound of something roughly kebab-sized hitting the bottom of the trash can as the door closes behind me. I choose to believe it didn't happen, and no one can take that from me. Right, there she is. It's Poppi. The room I arrive in is entirely featureless. The walls are plain, smooth concrete, the floors are much the same, the lights are high up above, suspended from the ceiling with pale fluorescent bulbs that cast a cold glow over the cell that contains Poppi the rabbit. The troubled bunny girl doesn't seem to notice me as I approach, but it's hard to tell. I get the impression she knows I'm here from the way her ear twitches, and a slight tension in her shoulders that quickly dissipates. The cell itself isn't all that special, although it's a little heavy duty for a luxury resort. Even compared to Poppi's rather imposing size, the bars seem thicker than usual. Even considering what she did, this feels extreme. No one must hurt in the end, just some buildings. Serial killers at least get yard time. She will not eat my hamburger. Okay, that's fair. She doesn't need to eat your hamburger if you don't want to give her your hamburger. One day you will be free from this hell. Well, actually, I think the way this is going, I think Poppi is actually gonna succeed once we get the full release of the game, or the full update maybe. They can give us an ending where Poppi does succeed. I don't know. So, if you're hearing this monster box, these are my ideas. Does Poppi deserve to be locked away like this, so far from everyone? Her words once again returned. Sorry about that. Her words once again return to the front of my mind, and my hands clench at my side as the guilt builds up. I take a slow, steadying breath. I take a slow, steadying breath, steel myself, and step closer to the cage. She's in there with her back to me, hugging her knees close to her chest, her large, floppy ears slumped down against her head. Hey, Poppi. She flinches slightly upon hearing my voice. Her reply comes quietly.
Why are you here?
She sounds exhausted. I can't imagine how much she's been through in the last 24 hours. I just wanted to see if you were okay. Go away. She sounds like she's on the brink of tears. It breaks my heart. I can only imagine how she must feel to try and kill someone and then have them show up to try and comfort you. It must be a whole roller coaster of emotions. I have to try and soothe her if we're going to get anywhere. It's okay. I'm not going anywhere. I know that you've had a bad few days. That you've had a few bad days. But if you want to talk about it, I'm right.
Oh my god, just shut the fuck up!
Sorry. Poppi lets out the longest groan I've ever heard in my life. Her head craning almost entirely back before she looks back at me with a glare so cold I actually feel a chill run through me. This isn't quite what I was expecting. Do you hear yourself? Did you have to leave your blank at the security checkpoint to get in here? You are gross. Hurtful, unnecessary, unprofessional, unnecessary. I think I said the last part. You said unnecessary again. I'm just trying to help. Poppi laughed so sarcastically, I think she might hurt herself. Oh, you're helping? Well, isn't that great?
Hey everyone! Don't worry, the security guard is helping! No one else can have any problems anymore.
See what you sound like? I'll only take a few more of those before I start to get mad. I get it, you're upset, you're stressed out, but there's no need to get mad at me over it. She laughs again, and I can feel it grating on me. My fingernails dig into my palms, but I'm managing to maintain my composure. There's no reason to get mad at you. Newsflash, you're the reason I'm here. You're just lucky I'm in here, or I'd show you what mad really looks like. I didn't ask for you to be put in there. I didn't ask for any of this. You just stuck your nose in. Was I meant to just lay down and die? No, you were meant to... why am I even talking to you? Because I care. I came here because I... Oh, shut up! She glares at me.
You know what the worst part about you is? You're just nice. You're not good, you're not bad. You're just nice.
Nice.
You have no idea what's going on here. You have no idea what we go through. You just think that if you do the good thing, everything will work out. Well, that's not how the world works.
I do have to agree with what she said. I mean, technically, nobody knows what's happening with the girls or how they were even made.
There's being good, there's being nice, and then there's being right.
She's the only one who really realizes that they're never gonna leave that island. Probably that is a fair assumption. They are, I think it's fair to say that they are products of the island instead of employees. Yeah, I have the impression that they're treated like objects. So I get where Poppi is coming from, or at least try to understand it. I've held my tongue for a while now, but something about that particular line is getting to me. And that's you. You're right. Hypnotizing the other girls, nearly killing them, that's you being in the right? I don't know what's coming over me, but I don't think I'm able to stop. The dude talking is very patient. Yeah, actually, to be fair, the security guy is incredibly patient after everything he's been through. So I have to sympathize with the guy as well. You have no idea what... I have no idea what they're doing here? Why don't you open your mouth and tell me then? Go on. Tell me what they did that's worse than what you did. I'm listening. Poppi stands there silently for a while, the rage bubbling just barely beneath the surface. Well? Sammy doesn't like you. They made her give you that ticket. No, she shifted the subject entirely. I don't think she's allowed to tell anyone what's really going on. I think she could be in trouble. I mean, they could, unalive her if she did tell you what exactly is going on in the resort, which is why she shifted the topic. So yeah. Ouch. That's a stray I wasn't quite anticipating. Now hold on. She told me all about it. How you were just ogling her the whole time. Hope I pronounced that correctly. She's just trying to get to me. Fortunately, it's working. She didn't get called away either. That's just something she says as a good excuse to bail on losers like you. So yeah, I kind of saw what they did there. They tried to shift the topic entirely, not just from the security guard, but from you, the player, because yeah, the question was, what exactly was happening with the girls that Poppi wasn't saying? And then she shifted everything entirely, not just from the security guard, but you. So, yeah. Monster Box has its way of, manipulating your mind or your thoughts. So, yeah. Masterpiece. This game is a masterpiece, all I can say. I try not to think about the fact that I still have that letter in my apartment. It makes me happy to look over it again. She came back to the room after that, and we laughed and laughed and laughed about how big of a waste of time you are. For a moment, she has me. All the insecurities deep down in my core rise until they're a lump in my throat, and every memory starts to take on a new gray hue. But then she overplays her hand. And she said your blank was the most disappointing, limp, pathetic little thing that she'd ever had the misfortune of handling. Suddenly, the memory burst back into color, and the weight of my chest lifts. She doesn't really know. The bluff is revealed. Sammy never saw it. Her smile dies. Sammy and I just talked. She wanted to take me on a tour, but I fell asleep in her lap. She was called away because I took too long to wake up, and we ran out of time. What? Nothing to say now? It's at this stage that I realize just how important the cage is. Poppi is cornered in a way, but she can't lash out in any way other than verbally. If I give her no room to lash out there, then all she can do is listen. Let me keep going then. Even if what you said was true, which it isn't, then what? That makes you right? I'm a loser, so that means you're allowed to kill whoever you want and do whatever you want? Like there aren't any consequences? Or were you just trying to dodge the question?
Shut up.
Found your voice again. What? Gonna say that? What? Sorry about that. What? Gonna say that Niall thinks I smell next?
Shut up!
Does Misty think my hair is lame? Does Maddie want me to wear a different shirt?
I said shut up! You fucking annoying, self-righteous asshole!
I'm self-righteous? All of this is because you were right, isn't it? You alone dictate who lives and who dies, and as long as you get what you want, then everything's great. That isn't what happened? Oh, sorry, did I dream that? No, wait, I can't have. You're locked in there now because that's exactly what happened. Are you gonna let me finish, or... Why should I? Every time you try to finish anything, it just turns out worse for everybody. All you want to do is hurt anyone that gets in your way, and it's dumb, selfish bullcrap. I don't know how you sleep at night, if you even can. I feel my heart racing, my mind is numb. I never get this angry, but she needed to be told, and if no one else is going to tell her, I sure as hell will. In her eyes, I can see the same burning anger, even if she can't find the words to express it. I'm halfway through thinking about what I should say next when the door to the cell slides open, and the wide grin grows across Poppi's lips. Dude is screwed. Wait. I may have overplayed my hand. She saunters towards the door, tracing her fingers gingerly across the frame as she steps through it, dark intent glimmering in her eyes. Poppi? She doesn't say a word. She just lets out a low, manic giggle. She walks towards me, her hands raised, her ears alert, her powerful legs primed for the hunt. She seemed so much smaller in that cage, but now that she is getting closer, it's terrifyingly evident just how much larger she really is. My back hits the wall. I didn't even realize I'd been backing away. I fumble for the door, but it doesn't budge. If I knock on it loud enough, Ari might hear and let me out, but before I can even make an attempt, Poppi lunges for me, and I have to dive out of the way to avoid her. It doesn't matter though. She's on me before I can scramble back up to my feet. I'm pinned beneath her weight in an instant, and her hand seize my wrists before I can even begin to fight back. I struggle and try to get my legs under me to push her away, but her thighs pin me down all over again. All I can do is submit to my fate. Wait a minute, isn't Ari watching this? Doesn't she have like a CCTV camera where she can see what's going on? I don't know. And who opened the door? Was it Ari? I don't think we have the answer to that yet. Why did I think a rabbit would be less dangerous than any of the others? It's easy to get too comfortable in this place to forget that these aren't just regular people in colorful costumes. These are powerful, lethal creatures that only play nice because they want to, and I just spent the last few minutes hurling insults at the most unhinged one I know. Poppi, wait! She laughs again, and quite easily pins my hands up above my head, bringing them together so that both wrists can easily be secured with a single hand. Even with my full strength, I can't overcome her. Part of me wants to pretend it's because she's got the better position above me, but the honest part of me knows that she's simply just stronger than I am. Maybe Kass? Probably. But I don't really know. I don't really know what reason Kass or any of the other girls have if they were the ones who opened that door. Probably they don't want any secrets to go out because the security guy was asking it earlier on. So yeah, that's all I can speculate. Her free hands slide along the side of my head, a finger outstretched to trace my jaw before she finally wraps her fingers around my throat, and the panic begins to settle in my gut. Poppi, please don't. My hamburger. Wait a minute. In the chat, I can see people talking about hamburgers. What? Our eyes meet. And all I can see is myself reflected back. Oh, see, I love the expression here that you know how your face is designed is like it captured what a psychopath, a furry psychopath, actually looks like. Pretty much on point. So Monster Box, the designs, man, really good, really good. She looks angry, even angrier than the night in the club. Was this what was hiding behind that mask the whole time? Angry, she just looks insane. And a bit happy, I think. Those beautiful eyes. Yeah, she has nice, glowing, scary eyes. Beautiful nonetheless. My legs are pinned. My arms are pinned. Her hand is on my throat, and yet, as I feel like death is an approaching inevitability, like I'm on the tracks of a speeding train and I have no way out, my first thought isn't fear or even regret. I find myself thinking that I hope she doesn't get put in a smaller cage because of this. She doesn't deserve that. Okay, security guard is on point. You know, he sort of sympathizes as to why Poppi is angry at whatever is happening in the resort. Because he just said she doesn't deserve that. So yeah, I think he sort of knows what's going on, but maybe still isn't sure, but also knows that behind all the anger there is something like burning inside her, like a, what do you call that, a freedom fighter sort of thing, for the lack of a better term. So I can't really describe it. All I can see is Poppi, the freedom fighter here, aside from being that unstable and unhinged large furry character. My eyes close, acceptance washing over me like a warm, reassuring blanket. I feel eerily calm, relaxed. Dude accepted his fate. It's then I notice that despite her hand being in the prime position, she hasn't actually applied pressure to my throat. My eyes open again to find her looking still quite furious, but her gaze is barely even on me. It's closer to my chest, although it's a far more private sort of look, like I'm intruding or even noticing it. Her teeth are clenched, grinding her brow, harshly scrunched down. I might be broken in more ways than one, because I can't help but feel like she looks pretty damn cute that way. So the dude is probably near certain death, and all he can think about is, oh, not all he can think about, but one of the thoughts is that she looks pretty damn cute that way. I don't know what to say about that. This dude is definitely a furry, just like most of us. Maybe I am gross. I have to work on that. I think about saying something, but before I can even speak a word, she beats me to the punch, a slight growl leaving her throat, accompanied in turn by a loud, frustrated exclamation of,
Fuck!
She releases my throat and my wrists and quickly stands up, turning away from me and muttering something to herself. I remain flat on my back for a few more moments. It takes me a while to even realize that there's something keeping me pinned. Eventually, I push myself up with my elbows and climb back to my feet. All things considered, I feel pretty good. My elbows are a little scratched, but I think that was more from my dive than anything she did. One moment. I look towards her, and she's standing with her back to me. She's staring at the cell, the door still wide open. She could very easily killed me. She was already in trouble, and all things considered, I don't think my bosses would have considered me a worse casualty than the nightclub. But she didn't. She was as angry as I've ever seen her, but she didn't even try to choke me when she had the chance. See? Poppi's actually good, just misunderstood. Hey, Poppi.
Please. Please. Go away.
Yeah. What a misunderstood bunny wabbit, as the chat said. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what I said. I didn't really mean any of it. She doesn't say anything in return, but I know she heard me. Those big ears don't miss much. She walks back towards the cage, and as soon as my back is turned, I hear the cell door slam shut. I turn my attention back towards my own door. I knock on it a few times, and once Ari has peeked through and verified who's there, it opens once again with a low drone. I mean, I want to know who's controlling the door. I want to know the mastermind behind this all. Doesn't seem like Ari. I don't think it is. Anyway, I exit out into the hallway and the door closes behind me. Ari is still standing at attention where I last saw her. She avoids eye contact, which I find strange. For a second, I think maybe she feels guilty about not keeping an eye on me in there. But then I notice that at the corner of her lips, there's an unmistakable smudge of garlic sauce. She ate the kebab. I can't help but smile. That's a good girl right there. Oh, Ari's a good girl. Yeah, she is. I slide my hands into my pockets, and I saunter back down the hallway the way I came. There's a tram waiting for me when I return to the spot I was dropped off. This time, I'm grateful for the solitude. I think I just need time to process everything. I think back to my last interaction with Poppi, and why I felt the need to apologize when she's the one that attacked me, and it all clicks together. She could have killed me in that room, and didn't. She didn't kill me, or even really hurt me. After I insulted her to her face while she was in one of the most stressful times of her life. I know a lot of people that would have at least knocked a few teeth out for that, but Poppi stopped herself. If it's not in her nature to hurt someone with direct provocation, then what pushed her far enough to do what she did? I pushed the thought away and instead just settle for knowing that if it's not in her nature, I probably spared her a lot of pain by stopping her when she went too far. That'll help the guilt a little bit at least. As the tram pulls into the next stop, I feel a sudden vibration in my pocket. I retrieve my phone and see a message from a number I don't recognize. I have more work for you. I'll send the tram tomorrow at 9 p.m. Get on it, don't be late. Kass. She probably likes you. Probably. Probably, but I think I'm going for the approach that maybe Poppi doesn't see you being a casualty something of importance. I don't know. Maybe you're not that important to her, or maybe she has bigger plans for you. I don't know. Or maybe she does understand that you're not trying to take her down, but rather you're just doing your job. And eventually, when you see eye to eye, you'd finally understand why she is doing all this. But that is just speculation, of course. I raise my head and notice that people have started to pile on. I guess that makes sense. I could only be important for so long. Eventually, it always becomes just another day of work. Oh, that's it. I mean, that was a cliffhanger. And I believe Kass was telling you that your next mission would be probably Misty. I don't know. She's there in the lineup, but we have yet to see an update. So yeah, she probably understood that you were just trying to help her. Yeah, probably. That's reasonable. What game is this? I never seen this one before. It's In Heat, Lustful Nights. So yeah, In Heat, Lustful Nights. What Jose Vector said. So yeah. So I think that is it. So yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. See you guys. Yeah, okay. See you, Purple. Yeah. Again, this is Angel Zero Gaming. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next update or the next dating chapter. Goodbye and have a great day, my dudes.